Last time, in part 1 of No Time to Die, Bond dumps Madeline. Bond has DEI hire, tried to girl boss him. Anna de Armas was wasted and Felix was killed. Oh well, what'll happen next? Wait a minute, you don't care? Well, fuck you. This is part 2 of the final movie to end my 007 month.
Okay, hello again, you beautiful bastards, and yeah, this is part 2 of No Time to Die, or Plenty of Time to Fucking Die. Either way, I don't give a shit, let's just get this over with. So after all the kerfuffle in the first part, Bond now has to get in contact with M and find out where Heracles is, and hopefully stop Safin, the mystery guy from earlier, from unleashing whatever his fucking plan is. He makes his way to HQ and gets to assert his white privilege over DEI hire Naomi, because why not?
You can go in.
Thank you.
Alone, I'm afraid.
Oh, does that bother you?
Bond confronts M about Heracles and asks him to get into Broadmoor to meet with Blofeld. M refuses, so Bond is like, fuck you, you miserable old bastard, and leaves. M tells Naomi to monitor Blofeld thoroughly.
Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc.
Just before Bond is about to exit HQ, Moneypenny, once again played by Naomi Harris, who gets really fucking wasted in this role, helps Bond to seek help from Q, who's dying to tick the gearbox that will be edited out by our Chinese overlords.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, and he's got to hack into some files, and there's some exposition on some database breaches, and guess who Blofeld's psychiatrist, psychologist, shrink, or whatever is?
Bum, bum, bum.
Meanwhile, Madeline gets a visit from Safin, who does his villain monologue thing and blackmails her to use nanobots to kill Blofeld. And Safin also reveals he was the man who killed her mother.
Okay.
In fact, this scene is where the flashback should have come in. When Safin reveals who he is to Madeline, we should have had snippets of the flashback, cutting back to Madeline's face when she looks at the mask, not a full fucking 10-minute scene before leading into the actual movie. It would have been a nice bit of exposition filling us in while also keeping the movie tightly paced. M meets up with Bond to come clean about Heracles and apologise for being a moody bastard.
That weapon was designed to save lives and to eradicate collateral damage for our agents. A clean, accurate shot every time.
All the gang reunite to fill us in on exposition and how dangerous Heracles is, yada yada yada, and also Bond has been reinstated to 00 something. Oh, and he's allowed to see Blofeld this time. Bond reunites with Madeline, who we found out has also been Blofeld's shrink, and finally comes face to face with his adversary again in a scene that also feels ripped off from Goldmember ripping off Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Q hacks into the Bionic Eye and discovers Mormon Guy approached Bionic Eye Dude, offering him to betray Blofeld. And after Blofeld pisses off Bond, confessing he was taking the piss about Swan being a spy, and mocks him for falling for it.
What a goof! What's with you, man? Come on!
Bond attempts to kill him, but then he stops himself. But then it's revealed that the nanobots have infected Bond and have killed Blofeld. It seems that after Bond tried to prevent Madeleine from leaving, he accidentally contracted the nanovirus, which she was trying to avoid happen. But, oh, Bond, what are you like?
What a 42-carat plonker you really are!
And to be honest, this should have been the scene where Naomi kind of evolved. Instead of giving her an excuse to fuck off, have her stay and witness everything happen, leading her to realise this could be her future. She could end up being just as broken as Bond if she plays this game for too long, making her sympathise with him more. But then again, one of the writers was this woman.
It's called capitalism.
So Bond tracks down Madeleine to her childhood home to apologise to Madeleine and opens up about his love for her. And once again, I don't buy this from Bond. Yeah, his character has evolved since Casino Royale, but despite Craig acting his ass off, Bond opening up this way feels too soap-opera-ish.
But I'm not going to leave here without you knowing that I have loved you. And I will love you. And I do not regret a single moment of my life that led me to you.
Alright, gay.
Even Lazenby, despite his wooden acting, did it better in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
I love you. I know I'll never find another girl like you. Will you marry me?
And not only that, I don't buy Swan as Bond's ultimate love. There's no chemistry. I mean, okay, her acting has improved a bit since the last movie, but Craig and Green works because they had some snappy dialogue to work off of, or work off to. Seydoux and Craig have none of that, and it's just feels like just dull. Oh yeah, he finds out he's the father of a little girl called Matilde, yet he's not the father, but definitely is the father. I mean, he had a child in the original You Only Live Twice novel, and I'm all for evolving Bond as a character and adding layers to him, but movie Bond is a character that works best when the fleshing out is utilised to a minimum. But moving on. She tells him about Safin and that his father was a chemist who worked for Spectre, and apparently Blofeld ordered Mr. White to kill him, which does allow Bond to inform Q, who then informs Tanner, who then informs M. Next day, Bond and Madeleine's family reunion is cut short, and they have to escape Safin's assassins. Bond runs a couple off the road before going on foot, leading Miss Swan and his not daughter into safety before proceeding to go full-on Rambo with these bastards.
Hey!
And once again, the action is pretty solid and intense. Even Miss Swan does some ass kicking, which was pretty cool. Bond finds out one of the goons is Mormon guy, and because he's a fucking asshole who killed Felix, he turns him into a human pancake. But sadly he learns Swan and his or isn't daughter has been kidnapped and sent to Safin's Island.
Shit.
So Bond meets up with Naomi, who has been tracking Mormon guy, and she gives him a lift and even learns the lesson of white privilege prevailing against girl bossing by handing her 007 title back to Bond.
It's just a number.
Wow, this movie is actually more based than I thought. It also turns out all the intelligence that Madeleine gave them has led them to Safin's base. They head out to the island to stop Safin, where they discover Safin is harvesting poisonous plants for distributing nanobots to cause mass destruction. I think Bond and Naomi, that Chobrechev, who out of nowhere says this.
I do not need a laboratory to exterminate your entire race from the face of the earth.
You went full retard, man.
And it also leads to one of the worst killer one-liners before knocking him into some acid.
Do you know what time it is?
What?
Time to die.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Madeleine teabags Bionic Eye Man before escaping. Bond finds Safin holding not daughter, but his daughter hostage, and the two exchange hero and villain banter before Bond grovels. And after rewatching this again, Rami Malek is still fucking wasted. He has no motive to be Bond's enemy. The vengeance he was seeking against Spectre made sense, but now he wants revenge against Bond and Madeleine, despite the fact he saved Bond at the Spectre party, and Madeleine as a kid, and suddenly, without any context, becomes a generic villain with a god complex. And I'm not going to lie, I swear I had to look up the motives to see if there was any confusion that could have been explained, and it still made no sense. If maybe they rewrote him to be the son of an organised terrorist leader who was planning to steal Heracles years ago and had his organisation taken over by Spectre, leading Safin to both avenge his father, take over Spectre, and set out to achieve whatever plan his father had, it would have made a lot more fucking sense. But fuck it, with idiots like Phoebe Waller-Bridgefish writing this, what do you expect?
It's called capitalism.
Even on the rewatch, you can tell they had to backtrack a lot of the woke crap they already wasted millions on. Things like trying to push Naomi as a franchise's replacement, which nobody asked for. The majority of Wally Bridges' writing, which would have had a period joke for fuck's sake. A scene of Naomi whining about choosing being a spy over being a mother. And I don't even like seeing Bond grovelling like this. Yeah, I know it's a ruse, but the others would have done it in a way that didn't seem so dramatic. But it does allow him to kick some ass, but unfortunately Safin escapes with not Bond's daughter, who then lets her go after she fucking bites him.
If you don't want my protection, then off you go.
What the hell was that?
Madeline finds Bond and her daughter, who was conveniently hiding in the place they found each other.
Surprise, Belenonocavini.
And Bond has Numi help them escape the island before bumping into Bionic Eye-Man. He blows out his eye, then utters a one-liner.
Really blew their mind.
So Bond goes to open up the hatch doors to allow the Royal Navy to launch missiles at the island. Then he catches up with Safin, who shoots him, and they fight, and he breaks his arm, but not before Safin attacks him with something. But it turns out he's injected him with nanobots again, and this time it's targeted against Madeline and his not daughter. And if he goes anywhere near them, then they will die. Okay, I don't see the point in that, since you've already shot him in the liver and he's already going to die anyway. But then again, this is a guy who got shot and fell to his death and still survived. But okay, so Bond ends up going Dayman on his ass.
Bang! 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 Bang!
Okay, so he can unrealistically patch himself up and get off the island and avoid his daughter and woman until Q reprograms the nanobots to not harm his family and he can reunite with his family.
Not this time. No.
Wait, what? He's going to stay on the island to die? Are you fucking kidding?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, if Safin set the timer for Heracles to be launched, it would have been understandable why there was no time to seek safety. Also, it's a villain's lair. Isn't there a bomb shelter for Bond to hide in or an escape pod to help Bond escape? And couldn't Q reprogram the fucking nanobots remotely? Safin did it at the bloody Spectre party. And this is technology that was 30 years old, but it's looking like Safin may have upgraded it. And if he's infected with nano poison, that would have killed him anyway. Why didn't it already? It killed everyone else within seconds. Was it set to last longer so it could infect his family if he comes into contact? Why even give it any time at all? And why even tell him? If he didn't know, he could have patched himself up, gone to his family, and killed them accidentally. Then Safin would have had the last laugh. The amount of fucking inconsistencies here. It's a more feeble attempt to kill off a character, and it's a shame as Hans Zimmer's score is really emotional and the acting is really on point, but fuck it. Everybody gives us their saddest sad face before blowing our beloved character and franchise to smithereens. Every one of Bond's friends do their toast to their departed friend. Madeline and Bond's daughter drive off, and the movie ends with a song from another Bond I'd rather be fucking watching.
We have all the time.
And that was No Time to Die, and by God, it was bad enough when Die Another Day almost buried the franchise, but the fact that the offspring of the very people that launched this franchise thought it was a good idea to kill off the character that made their fortune in the most stupidest way really left a bad fucking taste in my mouth. And I'm all for Bond dying, but it has to be done right. But honestly, nothing in this film makes sense. The villain's motives are inconsistent, the movie is bloated, the writing is all over the place, it lacks any sense of fun or romanticism. Every moment in this movie feels like a spiteful way to pander to the people trying to rid us of Bond because of his toxic masculinity, while also trying to make it look like they care about their fans. Christ, as much as I hated Spectre, at least it ended with him driving off with the woman he loves to escape a violent life and live happily ever after. This was a movie that did not need to be made at all. But it was a disaster, it was over budgeted, it bombed harder than a bullet and nano-ridden Bond. Talk about a fucking tragic end to one of the biggest franchises, as well as one of the most beloved characters. Seriously, fuck this movie. And for a movie titled No Time to Die, it seemed there was plenty of time to die, giving fans the middle finger while blowing the franchise to smithereens. And now we're at the end of our 007 month, and it's such a shame how something that became so ingrained in our culture for over 60 years had to end in such a tragic, stupid way. It was a franchise that went from strength to strength to, well, this. Especially after so many decades of entertaining people all over the world, and even worse, it's looking like with Amazon running the show, it's not going to get any better.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But fuck it, let's not let the stupid crap outweigh the facts that we still have the other movies to go back to, and we can choose never to indulge in the retardation this series was reduced to. Because as bad as this fucking movie is, we will always be thrilled and entertained by the classic movies that made us love this character and franchise in the first place. Bond is and always will be my hero, and these movies will always leave me shaken and never stirred. And whoever you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for watching, and do remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to ring that bell in order to be notified. And if you wish to further support this channel, links are in the description below. But before I do fuck off to the pub, I will leave you with this. If you're still feeling bitter over this last review, then hopefully the next month will be a little bit more, what's the term? Jolly. Because guess what?
It's Christmas!